Welcome back, everyone, to the second episode in the Spyderco series. Today I have for you the newest Paramilitary 2 on the market. Often referred to as PM2 for short, because I can't imagine saying Paramilitary 2 over and over again. This uses the Caribbean Bi-Directional texture pattern from their Salt series. It has Eric's and Sal's insignia on the blade, made in Golden, Colorado, USA. All right, let's talk about some measurements. So overall, we're looking at 8 1/4 inches. The blade is about 3.5 inches. The cutting edge is slightly over 3 inches. Handle, we're looking at 4 3/4 inch. Let's take a look at thickness, width, apologies. We're looking at close to over 1.5 inches on the width, and the thickness is about 1/2 inch, not including the pocket clip. Let's take a look at the weight. .7 ounces. I consider anything under 4 ounces fairly lightweight, especially for the amount of knife you're getting. Now, I know we measured this slightly over 3 inches for the cutting edge, but it feels like a much larger knife. Let's talk about the blade. So the steel that they're using is CPM Magnacut, one of the neo steels that's been developed. It has super corrosion resistance and a very well balanced edge retention with high toughness. This uses a diamond-like carbon or DLC coating. It's got the trademark Spyderco hole for the opener. Open with your thumb or the middle finger flick. Spyderco knives has that fidgety reputation now because of the middle finger flick. Yeah, I can do this for hours. It has jimping on the finger choil right here. I haven't used it to the point where I feel like this is necessary, but it's there. It's got jimping right before the thumb ramp, or right at the thumb ramp actually. And that is very effective. Not only does the jimping help lock your thumb in place, but the thumb ramp gives that extra control. I would consider this to be a drop point blade. A very flat and straight spine. It's a full flat grind, so all the way from the top to the edge, or before the edge, I'm sorry. Let's see, we've got the Spyderco insignia right there. Let's talk about the handle. So again, this bi-directional texture is from their Salt series. And I must say, it gives you a lot of additional traction. Just want to give you a quick shot of comparison to what the typical G-10 does look like. As you can see, there's no real texturing. I would say that the normal G-10 is still grippy, but because of the bi-directional texture. It gives you that additional traction. It feels really good in hand. Ergonomics on Paramilitary 2s are exceptional. The handles do allow for multiple carry options. I have mine oriented for right hand tip up. It's got a lanyard hole right there, and it uses the compression lock. So compression lock, for me, it's reminiscent of a liner lock, but on the back side of the knife, which allows your hand to be out of the way when you're closing it. This does run on washers. Not sure if I can give you a shot of that, but it's there. All right, let's talk about the pocket clip. This is their typical spoon clip. It's stainless steel. This one has a black coating. And if you take a look, as you can see, there's plenty of space, plenty of ramp space, so that way you can easily get it through a lot of different pant material. And the stiffness is, I would say, 3.5 out of 5. It's got the Spyderco insignia on it right there. Uses T6 Torx screws. Let's take a look at that in the pocket. There we go. Gives you enough knife to go ahead and grab it when you retrieve it. Real estate wise, due to the Spyderco hole and how it creates that little hump on a lot of their models, it takes up a bit of real estate. Not as much as the Magnacut 2 from my first episode in the Spyderco series, but you can still get your hand in there. Let's talk about availability and price point. This is widely available right now, at least from my research. Plenty of online retailers are selling this knife. The price point is slightly over $236, but there are plenty of online retailers that offer rewards programs for you to save a little bit of money as you accumulate purchases, of course. So what are my final thoughts? Is this worth giving a try? Absolutely. As I mentioned, this being in part of their Salt series, the bi-directional texture is very unique to the Paramilitary 2 models. And something different. Magnacut being super high in corrosion resistance is great for being able to use this in multiple environments, especially ones if you're taking this out on the ocean. The ergonomics are great. You can choke up if you need precision cuts. It's fairly easy to maintain, and the reason I say that is because there's no issues getting these screws out, cleaning out the washers, and relubing it, putting it back together. But my experience, some of the models I've had, the way the lanyard pin is set up, it takes a bit of maneuvering to get the scale taken out before you reach the liners inside. With that said, there's plenty of customizations for this model. It's one of the most iconic models in the Spyderco lineup, at least in my opinion. There are more models of this than any other Spyderco model I can think of. I could be wrong, but just from my experience, I've seen many iterations of the Paramilitary 2. Let me throw some out there just to give you an idea. This one right here uses a copper handle. So this one is heavy because of that. I took two different knives, put this one together. The blade is from their Sprint Run Colorado flag. Colorado Sprint Run, which has the USA flag on it. It's the most patriotic knife I have in my collection. They've got different G10 colors. This one's Jade, natural G10, and this uses a Tonto blade. As I'm running out of room, I'll shift these up. There you go. This one has a L-Max blade with a marbled carbon fiber. This is a dealer exclusive. This is mixed. But these are just the different variations from the factory. When I refer to customizations, I'm talking about aftermarket, the secondary market. Different companies are producing different handles. You can change out handles for different materials. You can change out the hardware screws, the pivot screw. They have, instead of the standoffs, you can get a backspacer. Different options for pocket clips. Some are deep carry, some just have different designs, different materials again. There's a lot of customization options for the paramilitary too. I think this is a must-have in your collection, especially if you're a Spyderco fan. You can't go wrong. There are so many options out there. You can make it yours. It's very unique. Quite fidgety as well, especially with the middle finger flick. Yeah, so you can put it to use. Only thing I caution about, I've read that the tip is, since it's so pointy, it can be subjected to certain use that might break off the tip. So be careful of that. But this is a great user and a must-have in your collection. All right, well, if you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe so that you get notified for the next review. I'm gonna throw some options out here for the next review. Before I get to that, actually, please leave a comment. Let me know what the most iconic knife in your collection that's a Spyderco, how you feel about the PM2, and any other comments you want to drop. Would love to hear your feedback. Sticking with the para/military series of knives, I've got the military on top and the Para 3 on the bottom. This is stock. Well, no, that's not true. This is titanium handle with an M4 blade. This has a aftermarket titanium handle with a Magnacut blade steel. All right. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Keep it cracking like a pistachio.